Majuba. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you, my child, let me speak to your spirit. You warriors calling a little louder, I want you to hear it. Just face it, don't fear it. Your mirror reflection, revere it. Shadow work, you will clear it. Just the seasons will change. You are called to rise. Open your eyes, realize, rearrange. It's not a game, press past through your pain. We are not mediocre nor mundane. You are great now, claim your new name. Break free from the chains. I just want you to see through and see true. See yourself as all of the mind sees you. The God in you, manifest your breakthrough. Standing tall, seeing life from a bird's eye view. While manifesting your Odu. We keep it real, real life and reveal. It's all in me, my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill my destiny. I will find, follow, fulfill. Majuba, we pay homage, it's the Ilajuba. We seek the great spirit's approval, manifesting the ancestral maneuver. As the Orishas move you. We pay homage, it's the Ilajuba.
Hey, Aboraboye. This is Oluofa Koladev Idinkai Ifa Temple. We welcome you to our Ilajuba Ifa Temple service. Thank you for joining us. We want to begin with prayer today, so let us open with prayer. I'm going to remove my cap so that we can pray and do what we need to do. With that said, let's put our head more for the ballet. Mojuba lolo. Mojuba leda. Mojuba lolo nare. Mojuba bobo gumule. Mojuba bobo imale. Mojuba boy kumbili solomare. Mojuba miss mojuba student. Mojuba transform. Mojuba basement. Mojuba academic. Mojuba academic rockets. Mojuba dale. Mojuba mojuba nago. Mojuba home. Mojuba rockets. Mojuba jenny. Mojuba city. Mojuba sudale. Mojuba jinzo west. Mojuba dinino. One don't know, no black identity, I just think don't know. Mojuba bobo everything Mojuba for Shungo de Mojuba go de Mojuba father, I'm a Mojuba to Mojuba Florida, Mojuba Palau Oriente, Mojuba Philippe Zalouette, Mojuba Bujobi, Mojuba Mia, Mojuba Mola, Mojuba Shalam, Mojuba Mojuba should be Mojuba said my letter from the first. I won't back here. As you obey, he hears people speak and take things. He hears people speak and prove things. He talks to people until their talks completely absorbed. He hears people speak and tells people names spot. He hears people speak and proves his nature down. He talks to people until their talks completely absorbed his voice shining. Or shining, you the person modes and beings. The person modes one cannot fail to impress him. Strike frogs when someone's rainfall. Blow frogs when someone's downpour. It is whatever the Akereju Pon. True root tells earth what it accepts, whatever the big red tells earth what it accepts. All what I tell you, please accept and approve them. I share or to show gratitude upon gratitude, Ziyava gratitude, to display benevolence upon benevolence, Ziyava benevolence. Whoever I show gratitude, yes, says benevolent, such a person when I receive today's gratuity. These are the declarations fought to the 401 Aruma. I'm going to Mayo play, God of Ushukuji. I am grateful. I shall receive my gratuity. I'm grateful for yesterday's favor. I see today's gratuity. We are very grateful. I share. Awa dupe, awa bure, awa dupe, awa bure, adupe ana, awo bure tunebo olodumare, awa dupe, awa bure. Awa dupe awa bure. Adúpẹ́ àná, àóbore dùnébò ọ̀ríyẹ̀ni. Àwa dúpẹ́, Àwa bure. Àwa dúpẹ́ o. Àwa bure. Adúpẹ́ àná àwòrán tó níbọ̀ ìrúmọ̀lẹ̀ àwa dúpẹ́ àwa búrẹ́ àwa dúpẹ́ o àwa búrẹ́ adúpẹ́ àná àwòrán tó níbọ̀ ẹ̀gún lọ́rìṣà Olódùmarè. We ask for forgiveness. Please forgive us for any transgression, anything that we might have done wrong or incorrectly, any taboo we might have broken. We call on the Odu. A roast or tutu pounded down without soup can be very difficult to consume. These decorations far to a tutu the child of our Benerekin. He who is full of that character, we bow out to the preventative from his woman. Now comes to solicit on behalf of the tutu. We come to beg on behalf of the tutu. How many children does Ifa have that he will cast one out? Those who beg on behalf of the tutu. Ifa, we ask that you would ward off all death, ward off all sickness, ward off cases, controversies, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off witchcraft, negative forces from us. Please remove that at this time. And in its place, bring to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, success, seven-figure income. We call on the Odu. Ogbe Lara. Orumila says time to sleep. I echo it is time to sleep. When the day dawned, I met Orumila in the 16th room, where he covered his head with a flowing gown full of light. He was wearing just to a bloodstained. He was snoring heavily. They told him that delegate from the sacrifice. Orumila inquired what the delegate had brought. They told him they brought 2 rats swift and running, 2 fish graceful and swimming, 2 birds swift in flight, and 2 goats with big livers. Orumila said, "That's no need to wake him up. I admit my ignorance. Please educate me. Motuna Karaba, I hide myself in your bosom and survive. Motuna Karaba, the dog hang not square to be sagba now to lead. Dog hang not square to be sagba now to lead to perform rituals for the children. You are the leaders, we are the followers. Leaders are the ones who show the followers wisdom." Orumila told him to get alligator pepper, to get cola, to get bitter corn, to get alcohol. The couple got the alligator pepper. He got the cola, he got the bitter corn, and he got the alcohol. Now that is wise. Now that he is fully awake, Orumila, when you are fully awake, please look at me with your eyes of compassion. It is with eyes of compassion that the heavenly stars use and look at the stars below. Rumla, when you're fully awake, please look at me with eyes of 1 to secure great wealth. There's such good eyes that the heavenly stars use and look at the stars below. Rumla, when you are fully awake, please look at me with eyes of 1 to secure a good spouse. There's such good eyes my spouse should use and look at me with. Rumla, when you are fully awake, please look at me with your eyes of 1 to bear many children. There's such good eyes a child should use and look at a well-decorated plate. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of all erect and life. Ashe. Ifa, we ask that you would ward off all death, sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off challenges for us today. Ward off the obstacles that are in our way. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, good spouse, good children, longevity, prosperity, victory over adversity, peace. Bring forth to us long life. Give us wealth. Give us all the good things of life, Ifa. And we ask that you would move my ego out of the way so that we would hear good words of Ifa today. Emma kami mene ama, Emma kami mene ana, Emma kami mene adelokun, etamole, eturi Ifa aloni mi, ebora timpanini, ene banami aon tifa lelejo, Ashe Ifa. We call on the Odu Oshe Aruela to grant all of this and seal it and make it firm. Oshe Tra, tiny of the feet of food was a shot of a chameleon is not big enough to this head there. Had it for nothing. This head job with it taking it home on my head with it. Easy 5 declarations to Aruela. I'm going on a spiritual mission to Jebelen. We're calling looks me send pay money. Consort said make a rich crown Aruela with respect and a Jebelen. Oshe Aruela Zagarawo. Oshe Tra, Akeki ne Bagi Sa. We actually trouble against the tree. Kasifah Rumor, when he received Iba and Ashe from Olodumare. If in our word tells you should be wealthy, surely be wealthy. I kick in a bagisa in the mouth of one side, Ziba and Ashe, in the mouth of an hour. If in our word tells you have joy, surely have joy. I kick in a bagisa in the mouth of an hour, that's Iba and Ashe, in the mouth of an hour. If no one tells you should have victory, surely have victory. I kick in a bagisa in the mouth of an hour, that's Iba and Ashe, in the mouth of an hour. Essay, maybe so, surely shall it be. So I pray on all of our lives, long life, victory, money, good health, good spouse, good children, because in the mouth of an awo resides Iba and Ashe, that is manifestation. So I'm manifesting that in all of our lives today. Ashe. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Ọgbọ́n tí mo bá màmá wí o, ìlú mọ̀lẹ́ ó bà. Ifá ó bá o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Àṣẹ o. Bí mo dúró, tí mo súrẹ́. Bí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súrẹ́. Bí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súrẹ́. Bí mo jọ̀kọ́, tí mo súrẹ́. Ìrètí mo sùn, orí ti bọ́. Now, hold your ori. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyẹn ni ọ. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyẹn ni. Mọ́júlọ mi fà wá mọ́rí. Orí ẹni làrúrẹ ìyẹn ni. Àṣẹ o. Bòbúrẹ̀ tá a zú. Ifá ò bá lọ́rùn. Àti bàtà jú. Ifá ò bá lọ́rùn. Ó ṣe àrú ìlà Ifá ti bọ́. Olodumare and the divinities we pray, and she will continue to ward off all sickness, ward off all cases and controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, outright fights, ward off the challenges from us today. Bring forth to us long life, wealth, the spouse, the children, $50 million. Give us joy, give us success, give us the victory. Help us to find, follow, and fulfill our destiny. We ask you to do this in Olodumare. Ashe, Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Aboto. Great to see you all today. Once again, this is Oluofa Kolodev Edinkari Temple. We welcome you at Cairo, at Kaabo. We welcome you to our Ile Ijuba Ifa Temple service. We do this at this time. We're doing it every week. On the opposite weeks we do the weekly tap in. So tap in with us next Sunday as well. But this is Ile Ijuba. So I want you to do something for me. Those of you who are watching, you know this is going to be a valuable message. I want you to like and share with your friends at this time, those people who practice Ifa, those who don't practice Ifa, because this is going to be a message not just for Ifa followers. This is going to be for everyone. All right? So, like and share, and also in the chat, tell me where you're tapping in from. All right? And I'll shout you out at the end. So, let us begin. Today, our topic is what you don't repair, you repeat. Let me repeat that again. What you don't repair, you repeat. So what do I mean by this? Excuse me. Today, I want to deal with a very silent and avoided truth. And that truth is cycles keep repeating because healing is being delayed or healing does not take place. So have you ever noticed how sometimes the same kind of people show up in your life? The same relationship patterns seem to come up often. The same disappointments, the same betrayals, and the same struggles with money, the same emotional triggers. It's not a random thing. It's not everybody else. It's not they're doing this to you. It is the lesson that we have yet to learn. Before we get into this understanding, I want to talk a little bit about the concept of curses, because oftentimes many of us live in existence and we think that what is happening to us is curse. In the Odu Oshe Ika, let me tell you a story. There were people in the land of Kwara, and in Osheka, the story goes that the Oba in that town wanted a child, and none of his wives could produce a child. None of them could get pregnant. So the Oba went for Ifa consultation, and when he went for Ifa consultation, the Oba was told that he needed to marry a woman who was lowly, a woman who was humble, who come from humble beginnings. And this woman would be the one who would produce a child, and not only produce a child, that pregnancy would enable the other women to get pregnant. So the king found a young lady, he courted her, he married her. Once the Oba married this woman, she immediately became pregnant. The issue here is that the other women within the community, his other wives who could not get pregnant, the ones that were jealous, the ones that were hateful, these individuals got so mad. They thought, how could the firstborn of the king come from a slave? That's what they said. And when it came time for this woman to give birth, the other women within the community told her, you know what, you need to give birth in the pantry. You need to give birth in a cramped space, uncomfortable. We're going to close the door as you give birth. And this woman knew that they were lying. She did two things. She first prayed, Olodumare and my ancestors, please give me a safe delivery. And then the second thing she prayed was that if any of these women want to give birth and have a safe delivery, they too will also have to deliver their baby in the pantry. And if not, they will lose their child. And this woman gave birth to her child without any problem in the confines of a pantry. After that, the wives of the king became pregnant, and they then were happy and they went for delivery in their regular comfortable places, and each one of them kept giving birth to dead babies. They all went for Ifa consultation, and the Babalao told them that every one of these women had done something gravely wrong. They did something to someone who was cared for and loved by the spirits. And essentially a reproach, or some may call it a curse, but we won't call it a curse now. But a reproach had been placed upon all the women of the community. So in order for you all to give birth to healthy babies, anytime you're pregnant, all of you need to give birth in the same room that you told that lowly woman to give birth to her child in. And this happened for generations after generations, and it came to a time when the elders said, this curse should be removed. What is this thing? This thing is called Adabi. It is reproach. In the Odu Ifa or Turupombe, Ifa says that Adabi is more profound than any curse. It is actually the backing of any curse. Why? Why is Adabi or reproach the backing of any curse? Well, let's understand the story. Just like in this story, there is some justification for what happened. It was indeed wrong that these women made this lowly woman to give birth in an uncomfortable pantry, hoping that she would lose her child. That is wrong. But the spirits that walked with that woman said, no, we're going to make this child healthy and strong. But if anyone else wants to give birth to healthy babies, they will have to do the same. So what Ifa is saying essentially is that wrong has its own reward and or consequence. So as a result of this transgression, the transgressors would suffer as well. So this leads me to one of the first of many points, and that is sometimes the curse you're suffering from is indeed your crop. In this community, in this world, oftentimes we call it karma. Sometimes the curse or the thing you think is a curse is actually something that you visited negatively upon someone else, and it is indeed the sowing of what you have reaped. It is something that you have created, and as a result of not repairing or going back and apologizing and repairing a situation or correcting a situation, looking at wrongdoing and saying nothing, watching as individuals are exploited and doing nothing, oftentimes you can suffer the same consequences as those individuals who are implicit or complicit in the process. If you don't repair, you're going to repeat. Some things that we need to consider is, as I said before, that curse, that negativity may be something that is a result of the bad choices that come as the result of bad choices leading to bad actions. So let's analyze this concept further in the idea of cycles. The Odu Ifa Ogbe Bara Ifa says one's business ought to be taken care of and one's trade ought to be handled well. If one stays in the river to drain the water therein, water will splash on one's face and splash into one's mouth and splash all over one's body. This was the Ifa cast for Oja Oboku. When lamenting her inability to give birth to her own child, she was advised to offer Ebo, and she complied. She named her baby Ayinle. When Ayinle grew up, she too was lamenting her inability to give birth to a child. She offered Ebo. She asked Ifa what to use. The Awo told her she needed to use Aja or dog as Ebo material. She complied. After giving birth to the baby, she named her baby Ijanja. When Ijanja grew up to be an adult, she never saw her menstrual cycle. She was weeping in the streets, lamenting her own inability to give birth to a baby. She was then advised to offer Ebo and was asked to go meet her mother at the riverbed. She said, I have brought kola nuts to come and meet my mother. Erin Jogum Ola, the elephant, has honor in its inheritance, offspring of the elephant that marches majestically with honor. Ijanjan, here I come, the daughter of Ayinle, who resides in the river. I have brought my own kola nuts to come meet my mother. I have really come in search of my mother. Ijanjan, I have brought kola nuts and bitter kola nuts, and I have brought alligator pepper to come and meet my mother. I have come in search of my mother. Ayinle, please come quickly and take the ritual materials from your daughter. Erin Jogunla, offspring of the elephant that marches majestically with honor. Ijanjan, here I come, daughter of Ayinle, who resides in the river. I have brought my own matured ram to come and meet my mother. I have come in search of my mother. Ayinle, please come quickly and accept these ritual materials from your daughter. Erin Jogunla, Omo Erin Ti Folayan, Ijanjan, here I come, the daughter of Einle, who resides in the river. Before long, not too far, join us in the midst of several children. Several children is the way Ifa guarantees its manifestation. This is such a beautiful and powerful verse. And the story behind it comes from a young lady who was named Oja Roku. And this woman was married to her husband, and she was well loved. She was so well loved by her husband and her husband's family that her husband's family absorbed her into the family. They didn't even call her daughter-in-law. They called her daughter. They loved her as if she were their own. The challenge is that Ojaboku could not have any children. She couldn't bring children into this family lineage, and she was sad and she was even scared about that situation. So she went for Ifa consultation. She asked the Babalawo, would I be able to give birth to a child? Would I be able to conceive? Because up to this point, I haven't been able to, and I feel incomplete. I feel like I'm unable to add anything to this family equation. The Babalawo then told her that indeed you would be blessed. He said, you really just need to offer Ebo and feed Ile, Mother Earth. Feed Ile, Mother Earth, with 1 ram, as Ifa required. And she complied with the ritual. And within 6 weeks, she had become pregnant. She was so excited. She gave birth to her child with no problem, and she had a baby girl. The whole family celebrated. Everyone was so excited. And she then named her child Eyinle, which means the egg laid by Ile. When Eyinle grew up, she got married, and she too wanted to be a mother. And she too found herself within a family of in-laws who cherished her like she was their own. Her husband loved her, her family loved her, she was well loved, but she too had the problem of not being able to give birth to a child. She then knew the story of her mother and went for Ifa consultation from the same Babalawo. And she too was advised to offer Ebo, but her Ebo was a little different. He said, offer Ebo with 1 aja, or dog, and then give that aja to the land. And she was told that she needed to cut the dog into strips. And these strips were called injanjan. These strips were cut into bits, and then they were cooked. And then they were mixed with an herb called Ayerin Bomopon, this leaf called Ayerin Bomopon. Out here we call it seed underleaf. And she was to make this ijanjan and mix it with the leaf to eat. She followed that advice. And within 1 month, Eyinle became pregnant. She also delivered a baby girl, and there was absolutely no problem with the delivery. She named her daughter Ijanja. And when Ijanja grew up, she too married a very loving and empowering family. Her husband and in-laws loved her very much and adored her, but she kept a very terrible secret. And the secret that Ijanjan kept is that she had never seen her menstrual cycle a day in her life. She was so sad. She was embarrassed. She was telling herself all sorts of negative things. She told herself, what's the difference between myself and a man? Maybe I'm just a man trapped in a woman's body because I haven't had a menstrual cycle. But she was hating herself as a result of this process. As a last resort, Ijanjan went for Ifa consultation, and she went to the same Babalawo that her mother and her grandmother went to. And she asked the same fateful question: would I ever be able to give birth to my own child? The Babalao told her that indeed she would be able to give birth. And she said, how is it possible? Because I've never seen my menstrual cycle. He told her by the time her mother had passed away, her mother had become an Orisha, and her mother had become a Orisha who resided in the river. Ijanjan was told to go to the river and pray and give her mother at the river one ram, kola nuts, and bitter kola nuts, and atare pepper, and palm oil, and amala. She was told to go to the base of this river and pray and bring drums and prepare food and drinks and invite people to come and have festive dance and party with her as she honored the spirit of her mother. He told her that is the way that your menstrual cycle will appear and you will be able to get pregnant. So she went there and got to the river. She brought the drummers. She brought the obi and the orogbo, the atare, the amala. She brought the gin. She brought the ram. And the people began to sing at the base of this river where her mother was basically honored as the spirit of that river, Inle. And as people were praying and dancing, the people began to get possessed. And Ijanjan began to tell her mother all of her problems. Ijanjan danced, and she prayed, danced and prayed and fed her mother's spirit. And no sooner than when she arrived back into her town, she noticed that she had a menstrual cycle for the first time in her life. Shortly thereafter, Ijanjan became pregnant, and she gave birth to several children. This is such a beautiful and empowering story. Ifa says in Ogbe Obara, also known as Ogbe Baragada, which is Ogbe that brings miracles. And in this Odu, we see how what can be perceived as a curse and a negative thing can also provide medicine for the family, medicine for success. We also see how a human being who is able to overcome almost insurmountable odds can become Orisha as a result of overcoming those odds. And a person can become Orisha. A person who lives a life so powerful, so impactful, that they leave a legacy of character for others to follow. When we see a Yinle, we see a woman who has overcome ailments, and she has left a path for success for others to follow. So, what are we saying? My first main point is that an unhealed wound is a spiritual magnet. And what do I mean by that? When you are unhealed, you attract unhealed things. Hurt recognizes hurt. Chaos recognizes chaos, and fear recognizes fear. And the universe keeps score, as does the body. And the body and the universe is going to keep sending you experiences until that spirit is ready to graduate, until you are ready to move beyond the issue of that cycle. Until you confront it, you will repeat it. The unhealed trauma, the unresolved infractions, the unrepaired people, the situations attract the same thing they attract unrepaired people, unrepaired situations. And if you are wondering why you are attracting the same things, the same people, the same situations, it's probably because something that you may have needed to revisit and repair that you didn't do. So you keep playing the cycle over and over. Point 2, denial is spiritual stagnation. Essentially put, a cursed existence becomes normalized. You ever met folks who the cursed behavior essentially becomes the norm? Some of us are experts at pretending everything is fine. We joke it off. We bury it. We stay busy. We spiritualize our avoidance. But what I'm telling you is that you cannot run from what's inside. You cannot pray. You cannot pray away what you refuse to look at, what you refuse to face. You cannot elevate while dragging baggage and wounds behind you. I had a friend years ago who thought it was normal to grow up, have a relationship, have a child, then leave the relationship and live life as a single parent. In other words, the belief held was that being single with a child was the expectation as opposed to a situation that occurred. It became normalized, or normalizing a life with low self-esteem, negative self-talk, telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or overly apologizing to people when nothing you did was wrong, or people pleasing, or feeling unworthy. Some of these are the things and behaviors passed down by parents and loved ones that get normalized while we keep living our life small. And the last and final point is healing is your responsibility. And it is not a reaction. What do I mean? I want you to stop waiting for a crisis to start healing. Stop waiting for upheaval in your life to go and castify. Healing is not haphazard. Healing is intentional. Healing must be scheduled, but not forced. Why? Because healing is a process. How do we heal? First, in the process of trying to heal and repair the problem, you have to name what hurt you. What is the thing that hurt me? Why am I in pain? What did I do? What did I do? What happened? And you have to investigate and name it. Identify the thing that hurt you. You got to be honest with yourself, though, right? That's a really important aspect, is honesty and naming the issue. After you name it, then you have to be accountable. Once you name and you see what you may have done wrong, or what may have happened to you that you need to resolve, you then need to be accountable. And what that accountability means is I admit to my own patterns. I admit to the things that I did that keep helping this scenario to play out. You have to understand like what needs to be done, right? The aspect of, in our story, Eyinle and Ijanjan and their grandmother, all of them had to go to Ifa to name the hurt and then admit to the pattern. And then the third thing is cleansing. The cleansing process is freeing the body, freeing the energy field from the issue, right? After you name it, after you admit to what you're doing to contribute to it, then you need to get it up off you, right? You need to sada ye ye, right? You need to go and get cleaned off. After you do that, then we can inject ritual into the process. That's the fourth point. Ritual, ebo, the alignment of the healing process with spiritual technology. Put all of that into alignment and then put spiritual technology and stamp that ebo on it. And then after you've done all of that, the fifth thing is you got to choose differently. You have to take action. And what Ifa is basically saying, and what I'm saying, is choice. When you look at cursed behavior, when you look at repeated cycles, at the end of the day, the issue is what you choosing. You know, Black Sheep had a song, and then the song they said you could get with this or you could get with that. What are you choosing? What have you chosen? All of this is the continual responsibility on yourself. And if you don't choose better, you won't receive better. So in closing, I have some things that I want you to do. And also, I have some prayers that I want to just put out on all of us. The first is, say it with me, may every cycle break. Ashe, may every cycle break. May every wound close. Say it with me, may every wound close. May every lesson be learned. May every lesson be learned. And lastly, may my destiny move forward. May my destiny move forward. Ashe. So with that, please let us all continue this process of moving forward and elevating and getting that joy. I want to thank you all for joining us today. And also, inquire about those of you who can like and share. Thank you. Good to see you, Ifabami. Also, Taylor, good to see you. Aboshisha Boto. Yep, from ATL. All right, folks. Also, good to see you, Ifawole. Jojo King, our boy, Annette. Thank you so much. Good to see you there. All right, so I've got some announcements. Today we're doing one of our cleansings for Obaluaye. We'll also be doing some work around to honor Eshu. And also on the 24th, there will be a discussion on Eshu is not Satan. So that's going to be a whole movement process. So we would like you to be involved in all of those things. Along with that, if you like the things that we're doing here at Edinka, you most certainly can contribute to the process, donate, like and share. And also, we have an Omo Awo program where we teach and educate other Awos, teaching them how to be good priests, and not only good priests, but knowledgeable priests. We go through the process of Oshe Fa, morning prayers, how to do Eboriru, how to cast Ifa, give messages. So if any of you who are initiated and you are interested in becoming one of my Omo Awos or one of our Omo Awos, you can type Omo Awo or DM me Omo Awo for more information. We are in McDonough, Georgia, which is roughly about maybe about 40 minutes from Atlanta. And if you're interested in that process and studying with us, you certainly can do so. We have a process and a property of land where we really integrate with the Orishas and connect with them on a natural level. So if you're interested in farming, um, natural health care, um, healing, reconnecting with ancestral land, and Ifa, we're the folks for you. All right? So tap in. In closing, I want to pray for all of us. May Olodumare continue to support us. Help us, Olodumare, so that we do not continue to repeat negative cycles. Help us to overcome these negative cycles so that we can grow and become great. Help us to repair our lives, repair our traumas, so that we can see an even better way. Thank you, and may Olodumare bless you throughout this week. We'll see you next week with our bi-monthly tap-in. Thank you so much. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Abo.